you need way more than election, poll observers when it comes to Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard, frankly. You are going to need, and Bernie is going to need, and I believe his campaign has actually planned for this, you're going to need a rapid response army to not after the primaries, before the primaries. Not point out, but raise a goddamn stink about the registration.
You need to be proactive, not reactive.
Right, the registration deadline suddenly changing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, polls are getting shut down that weren't shut down before. Like Rhode Island, when the governor of Rhode Island, who's Hillary Clinton's BFF, closes down 60% of the polls in Rhode Island.
I didn't know that.
Before an open primary. You should have watched me.
2016. I remember they were talking about that.
So,
Mickey was.
And frankly, I'm keeping it real. If Senator Sanders is watching, this is on him. Enough with the
being nice, patty.
Yeah, enough with I just want to win on the issues and run a positive campaign. Bernie, this isn't Switzerland, okay?
Yeah.
This is a mafia. This is a mafia political system.
And you're being honest, dog. That's what they did. What you're talking about is what they did. Give it to them. Put it in their face. Because they did it. They made a conscious effort to do something, and if it compromises their run for president, you expose it.
So, for example, Bernie Sanders, if Kamala Harris wants to publicly say, I'm not a Democratic socially, in a very condescending way, you need to say respectfully, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're a capitalist. And, frankly, you haven't exactly been strong on these issues for too long, and you kind of seem to be moonwalking away from those issues. So, when it comes to Kirsten Gillibrand and Cory Booker, Bernie Sanders needs to not say, oh, my kind friends here on the other side. No. Cory Booker and Kirsten Gillibrand have accepted bribes from the banking industry Kirsten Gillibrand.
You all know about what Cory Booker did with the pharmaceutical. He voted against lowering the price of certain medicines in this state. He voted against it, and it was only for his career because he knows a large amount of the pharmaceutical companies are there.
Mm-hmm. Not just his state. It was going to help everyone. Yeah. Bernie Sanders needs to not there's a way of saying things where it's politically harsh, but it's not, quote unquote, a personal attack.
Yeah, everybody trying to say just like what Deborah Donna Brazile did. She tried to say, "Oh, you're going to attack a." I'm asking you a question about what you did, and you're telling me I'm attacking women.
Your friend Donna Brazile that you hung out with at a bar?
Oh yeah, me and Donna Brazile had a drink together.
Why don't you tell people about that?
Me and Donna Brazile had a drink together at when the DNC chair race. Me and Nomiki followed it. We had a drink together. She's nice, especially when she's
She said she didn't think TYT...
Yeah, we asked her for an interview initially. She was like, y'all don't treat me right.
But then Nomiki got an interview with her.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that.
Come on, don't.
If you want to call it that. But the bottom line is, you're going to need an army around Bernie Sanders and independent media, not just to tweet in anger at the rigging that is going on, but to get out in the streets before the primaries happen. Okay? If you want a fair election, you're going to have to fight for a fair election because you're not going to get one. Yeah. I'm not talking about physical fights. I'm not talking about violence. But let me tell you something. There was one protest at outside CNN headquarters in 2016 election. It was in Los Angeles. I believe the Young Turks covered it.
In Hollywood.
You are going to need way more than one protest outside media outlets because the media needs to be shamed and put on blame for the disinformation they are putting out. The biggest problem is not Russian information. The biggest disinformation is coming from United States Democratic state-run media.
Period. And y'all think that our elections was the first time it was rigged in 2016? Are you tripping? These elections been rigged. They just mad they didn't do it. That's
right.
all.
That's right. So the bottom line is this. Bernie Sanders, if he wants a chance, yes, he has to build a grassroots organization, which he already has done. But the time for being nice, the time for going to a knife fight holding a spoon, Bernie Sanders needs to get down in the mud. You could be nice and you could be kind and you could be a nice diplomatic guy when you become the nominee. And then because you're not going to play
become the president.
You're not going to play nice with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So why would you play nice with these people?
Yeah.
Because they're not Bernie Sanders. What I'm politely telling you as a journalist, these are sociopaths you're dealing with. Cory Booker is a pretty looking, kind talking sociopath. It takes a sociopath to knowingly block things that could save lives. That's a sociopath. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't say sociopath because no. Just let me tell you why.
Ty the apologist.
No, the only reason I said that because if you have a culture of people that do things, everyone that comes in that's funneled in, they are taught to do the same thing. When you're just doing it, it's not. You're thinking that that's the way to go. You're not really thinking. You're selfish, and you're not being. You're not like thinking about the complexities of it. You're thinking about this is how Washington operates, and this is how we operate. So it's hard to say they're sociopaths because the sociopath is intentional.
That's not necessarily true.
A sociopath, yes, they know they're manipulative. They know exactly what they're doing. Read the definition.
Okay, we'll have to look that up. But the bottom line is, the way that Bernie Sanders wins this election, you're gonna have to do more than knock on doors if that's your choice to do that.
What up, Colin?
You're gonna need more. You're gonna need more than just to donate. Bernie Sanders is gonna need a revolutionary army, a peaceful one, to not after the primary is rigged, before any of these primaries, to get out there and to demand certain things. Demand equal coverage to Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or all these people. Demand that you don't just have Democratic Party elites as pundits on there, but you have Bernie Sanders supporters, voters, and surrogates on all of these networks. Demand that these voter registration deadlines are moved closer to Election Day, not further away from Election Day.
Yes, Lord.
Demand that I don't even want to hear from any superdelegates. I don't want to hear about them on TV. I don't want to hear about them in the papers because they might have moved it to the second.
Remember, y'all had that meeting in Las Vegas. You better stick to it.
They don't just because they've moved the superdelegates to the second ballot. It doesn't mean they're not going to try to manipulate the process.
They make loopholes. They make loopholes. Loophole was almost like it was an accident and someone was able to exploit it. But no, they put that in place for themselves. They know what they're doing. They're career criminals. Damn, is that like calling them sociopaths?
Yeah, 100%. So the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this.
I knew he was going to say it twice.
Yeah, I have a redundancy problem. This is not a fair fight. It's not a naturally fair fight, okay? I guarantee you, that infomercial you saw with Kamala Harris on CNN, that infomercial that you saw, God knows why they gave Howard Schultz a town hall, that infomercial you just saw with Don Lemon last night with Amy Eat Your Broccoli, Nothing Great is Possible, Klobuchar.
You know what?
Wolf Blitzer.
Think about where we would be at.
Wolf Blitzer, they're actually doing a town hall with Bernie Sanders on Monday. So kudos to CNN. They're doing the right thing. You think Wolf Blitzer is going to be the same lifeless mannequin with Bernie Sanders as he is everybody else?
They're always aggressive with Bernie. They're always aggressive. But let me tell you this. Everyone is saying what we can't do and it's a pie in the sky. You know what? Think about where we would be right now if FDR thought that. If FDR said, you know what, this is a pie in the sky, we can't do it. Where would we be if JFK said, going to the moon is a pie in the sky? I don't know. No. We make the decision to do it and then we figure it out. We always do.